A very good morning to you watching. This is Smart Minutes Business here in Smart 24 TV, where you drive your business. And of course, it's exactly 7 a.m. here every day from Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. till 9:55 a.m. Well, my name is Masi Katsime and I'm here to take you all the way through. And of course, today is the 5th of March, Tuesday, the second day of the week, as many may have it. Well, what have you prepared for the month of March? Well, as today, as we dedicated the whole week to embrace women, to, talk about the inclusivity in all sectors, they have to participate in all sectors, because that is where the theme of this year's Women's Day is rotated: inclusivity, inclusion of women. Yes, and of course, calling for gender equality, gender balance, as many may have it. Well, did you know that we have actually over 1,000 microfinances as of 2021? And of course, still more are still growing. And today, that is why we bring you our topic of discussion in line with empowering women to access to finance. Well, we will know that most women are mostly challenged with the fact that they do not have enough collateral. And of course, many of these microfinances were set up mainly to support women, mostly those that are in the small, medium enterprises, those that need financing, those that need funding. So that is the reason as to why most microfinance institutions, came up. And of course, they are particularly focusing on people in the rural areas, mostly women, where traditional bank services are limited. You realize when you go to your village, for you to access a bank, you have to go to the municipality. Don't you think that is a little bit hectic for some people? Well, of course, looking at this, women make up a substantial share of the microfinance institutions' clients, with suggesting that they comprise 70 to 80% borrowers. So you can imagine, because now we talked about collateral. Some women do not have collateral, or maybe they do not have startup money. So they go to these microfinances and borrow money to start up something to fend for their family. Well, of course, yesterday we're having a discussion, me and Andrew, given the fact that women, do not prepare for long term. We are just we just prepare Kagirao just for the season, and probably we can survive then. It shouldn't be for survival. It should be a long term, long-term business that you can open up, or anything that you, or maybe a company, an organization that should be long-term, not for the convenience of the situation that you're in. Yeah, I think that is why some microfinances, some banks do not, accord loans to some women, because they do not have, for you to access a loan, you have to have a goal, a mission. So, and you can imagine someone borrowing just for the sake of eating. Well, of course, some of the challenges that these women have faced over time, to access all this financing, and of course, as we are fueling growth through inclusive funding. Yes, as you had, 70 to 80% of women in MFI, that is the microfinance institutions, are women who borrow at that kind of percentage. Now, there is also limited access to capital. While microfinance bridges the gap to some extent, the loan amounts offered to often insufficient for larger scale ventures, hindering potential growth. Well, I understand. So that is what because now these institutions, the microfinance institutions, are mainly focusing on people that are small scale. So if you're hoping to have a larger scale, but of course everything starts from small steps. You could start from a smaller scale to a larger scale. Once you have made profits, when you've known your market, when you have your customers, you can grow it so that when you're going to borrow now, you can go to these banks, instead of the microfinances. So those that have been hoping to have large scale businesses or ventures, that have had it because there is always insufficient access to that amount that they need to start up something for themselves. Well, of course, there's also literacy, lack of literacy, financial literacy. I must say this does not cut across, it cuts across every one of us. I don't think most of us have financial discipline. We don't have financial discipline in that case, if I must say. We have impulse buying, everyone has that weakness when it comes to finances. So lack of financial literacy can make it difficult for women to effectively manage their finances, invest their earnings, and navigate loan repayment schedules. Because now, you know why that happens? It's because someone borrows money to set up something for the meantime because they want to survive. Probably they had an occurrence, they were kicked out of their house, and they go borrow money to survive for the meantime. Yeah. So what they venture into cannot even possibly be able to pay up the loan that they acquired from these microfinances or maybe a bank. So that is also, and of course, women, yes, we are known to be good at budgeting and the likes, but we have to understand that there are people out there, mostly in the rural areas, that do not have financial literacy. They do not know how to save. They don't know how to save. They eat what they make. So there has to be financial literacy. These microfinance agencies, the institutions should go and educate, train women on how to save for the future, not just for the mere fact that everything is there and you only live once. Okay, let's change that. And of course, we have gender norms and where women are restricted, to movement, making decisions, limiting their ability to fully participate in economic activities. The cultural norms that we talked about yesterday, still now, they're still hindering the inclusion of women in most sectors. Now, you can imagine now, it's hard actually. It's just that maybe the mindset of Ugandans has changed over time, and looking at gender equality, more inclusion of women, so it is easier compared to the other days where a woman was restricted, the social norms, her position was in the kitchen. Remember the books we used to read? Her position was in the kitchen. So for some people, mostly for those that have those small circles in the villages, some of them have defaulted on loans. Yeah, and of course it has deterred them from getting loans over time. So you find they move from circle to circle, they register, they get a loan, they disappear, they never pay it back. So we have to earn back the trust, from those people, from those institutions that we've been having. Well, of course, there's also lack of market access and business skills that have also led to this, facing challenges, accessing markets, obtaining permits. Yeah, and of course, we've had this where you have a business idea, you want to venture into something, but you do not have market. That is one of the challenges that we've been facing, mostly even talking about the project development model. Yes, you have the finances, you've been given cash, you want to start up something, but we have been challenged with market. Yeah, so that is why you take an individual initiative to look for market yourself. Market your things. Go out and spread the word. There is social media these days. Use word of mouth. It's still a form of communication. Use word of mouth, tell a friend. And the next thing you know, the whole community knows about the business you do. So people do not want to go out there and really look for where the market is. It cannot find it, can never find it. You have to go all the way and market your products, market what you have, advertise if where necessary, yes, because we've seen people investing heavily in advertising. You could actually come here and we could be of great help. And of course, skills. As a woman, you should have at least some skill. You cannot start up a thing with, you do not have a financial, you're not financially literate, you do not have a skill. Come on, There has to be something that you can do for yourself. Like we need mentors. These women in rural areas, not even rural areas, even in urban centers, mostly those that are into these small medium enterprises, they need counseling, they need mentors to direct them in a proper way of handling their finances, on how to make their small businesses go on a larger scale compared to their reasoning on to just rely on survival. I want to see women having succession stories of, yes, I did this, my children took over the business, yes, other than men. So let's have the zeal. Like we call for gender equality, since women want to do what men can do. So why don't you prove that you can do what they can do? Because at the end of the day, they're the breadwinners. You could also be a breadwinner, so you could also do the same as well. So we have to work hand in hand, with the private sector, with government to intervene in cases like this that need that really need women to be inclusive. And it's quite interesting that we are having this as our theme of the Women's Day come Friday, on how we can include women in different sectors, because we've seen them majorly in agriculture. We've seen them in industries, yes, and of course we've seen most women fronting most big positions. They are CEOs, they are EDs. So definitely there is a chance that probably one way or the other, the gender that once belonged to the kitchen will be overpowering. So you have to know, as a business entrepreneur, as a woman, as a lady, you have to know that you have to set goals. They have to be long-term goals. Yes, if it's a small business that you've started up, how ready are you to make it grow so that in 20 years it can thrive? Recently I saw someone having on their shop, we've been running since 2007. So you can imagine, since 2007 up to now, how many years are those? That means that, and it's really, I think probably it's booming, because since 2007, if you establish yourself then, that means your business, and it's still running, that means your business. So because there's a lot of competition, everyone is starting up something. So we have to come up with unique ideas on how to pull our customers, on how to get into the market. That is how we're going to get through the market. If you have unique ideas, if you have unique products that are really relatable to the people, yes. So find a solution that is relatable to the people, so that you can attract more of that. Well, 30 minutes past 7 a.m. and of course that is it for as we continue to drive for inclusion of women in all sectors. It could be even in the army. We've seen them, being a forefront. Some are majors, some are generals. Well, that is it. That is how we are trying to push women, because they are the mothers of the nations. Well, of course, that is it. Let's get to see what is happening into the press. Welcome, and of course, as people celebrated the hard work of I don't know. Yeah, well, of course, here in the Daily Monitor, making headlines as government warns of raising radiation exposure. And of course, I must say, really, it's recent that I was talking to a friend, and there is a brand, a ring, that is going to be monitoring people's blood pressure flows. And then how does that operate? Because it's chargeable. It's a ring. You put it on, it monitors your blood flow, your pressure. So I believe we're really exposed to many radiations as new technology comes into shape, just for the benefit of monitoring our body. Well, of course, the national and regional referral hospitals and industries are among entities at the Atomic Energy Council found as we wrapped up last year to study to be operating without license or emitting radiations beyond permissible levels. Yes. You know, they used to say when someone goes into the scan, their lifespan reduces. So, due to radiations, actually, due to radiations. And of course, Ochola bows out with a wide smile. Yes, he served his country right. And yeah, it was time for him to actually leave and go to his home and, relax, from this. Because when you've aged, please just allow, check yourself even before they start tossing you around like some people.
All right, now when we took a look at the new vision, new salary increment plan is definitely out, and over 262,000 public servants to benefit under the new structure. And of course, seeing something in line with the president awarding a man who arrested the clan head killer, just right here. Given a medal of honor, of course, given that respect. And National Social Security Fund hits 20 trillion Ugandan shillings. That is talking about the savings, the people that are saving with this. And of course, more is anticipated as the journey proceeds. All right, now, of course, still here, President Museveni mourning a former Tanzanian leader. Yes, that is Mwinyi. President Yoweri Museveni has mourned the former Tanzanian president, that is Mzee Ali Hassan Mwinyi, who commended him for supporting their liberation struggle. Of course, talking about way back in 1986. And seeing Ochola, who retired, actually outlining critical issues in police as he retires. So grab yourself a copy, you will be able to find out what is really transpiring.
Well, the Auditor General has actually unearthed diversion of funds, payroll inconsistencies at Parliament, and of course he highlighted some multiple irregularities, including the diversions of billions of money. Over 1.2 billion was lost in there. Nobody knows how it was lost in there. Yeah, because I believe Parliament is one of the entities that has huge sums of money. That is where everything's, because they make actually the laws, so why not? So a lot is happening into Parliament, and of course there are no exception to be probed. Yes. So anytime the IGG could step in and start questioning them on irregularities that are happening into this institution.
All right, now here 10 million is up for grab, and this is a bounty on a prime suspect who killed the clan head murderer. Of course, we see already President Yoweri Museveni awarding the brave Boda Boda rider and the Naluba medal in line with that. But then the other gentleman, police has put a 10 million bounty on prime suspect. If somebody can be in position to track that person, you'll just be in position to get that money. Now, of course, a Wise Lane clan leader was buried in 2,000 back cloths. Of course, you find out further details. Well, of course, this could be something in line with the cultural norms, in line with that. Now, Somalia finally joins the East African Community Bloc as the 8th partner state. I think this is, I can see here the map being drawn now, as we are having quite more states. Ethiopia recently was also in talks to join this. So how far is this really, is it really heading? Let us wait and see. But the most important perspective here is the membership contributing to efficiency and fastening the regional integration in terms of having integrated markets for the goods that are produced across the region. And now, of course, seeing here agriculture officials grilled over irregular goats procurement. Yes, you find out that as you grab yourself a copy. And employers have been urged to provide medical insurance for staff. Yes, a guaranteed aspect there. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our press. Now, of course, taking a look at the traffic report. What is happening? Exactly 20 minutes past 7. Trying to observe which area is this. This is Fairway. Yes, this must be Fairway. All right. Yeah, so you can clearly see. I think this Tuesday morning, jam seems to be a little bit moderate in some parts of the city. As you can see, those are coming in from Yusuf Lule Road and heading straight towards the Malago side. As you're heading to the one to the roundabout, linking up there, some will proceed to Kamocha side. Others continue all the way straight up to Kubiri, that is close to Prophet Kakanda's church, and proceed up to the northern bypass to Waise. So there are quite a number of alternatives. Yes, but according to the look of things, here seems to be a little bit moving, but ahead there. That's where the issue is as you're crossing over, most especially those that are proceeding through Waise and continuing to those other routes. It could be a challenge for you to make it through, as according to what I'm observing. Yeah, but this is the best time for you to start moving actually, because as the day later on heads straight up, you will likely it will likely be harder for you to access the different destinations, most especially if you're likely to use the suburb routes. Yes, the suburb routes, which are not so close to the city center. Yes, where there is quite massive congestion of vehicles, talking about borders, talking about public and private vehicles at the same time. It all comes in through that way. So that is what we are saying there. Yes, and the traffic gentleman in absolute control, of course, holding these vehicles in patterns and intervals. I can see these border people quite so impatient, planning to cross over. As they proceed, but it's not really tight at the fairway. Yes, I can see vehicles coming in from the Seziwa route. Yes, most probably that is which links through Nakasero areas, sloping down. And Nakasero is one of those areas that are known for, that have that corporate touch. Those corporate places where corporations have headquarters. Main offices, and so many more. Now seeing vehicles branching up to Seziwa, that is Kafu Road, which links us straight close to Fairway Hotel, and you proceed up to, actually when you use the Kafu Road, you survive the Mlago round jam. Yes, you go straight to Wandege, other than you using the Yusuf Lule Road and reach the roundabout, and it's also another tug of war to bypass and cross over to proceed. So when you use that route, it's a shortcut for you. And even within that, there are workplaces, there are offices along that route, because there you branch off to the public service. You slope towards the public service as you're sloping towards one day route. So I think it's a quick shortcut for every person that is on time. Yeah, now of course vehicles, these are just being held a bit, coming in from Seziwa route. They must probably have been coming through the city center, and they pass by the Nakasoro area. Now they are sloping in through to probably proceed through the John Babiha route and proceed to either Kamocha side. Others could be heading to Ntinda Bukoto, and others could also be heading to Kira side. Either way, either of the two, Kamocha and the preceding areas, as we can see. But it's not, the situation is not really tight for the residents, for those that are likely to use that the Siswa road, or any of the routes that are close to the fairway. The only challenge comes in is away from fairway as you proceed. Probably if you're coming in from Mulago side, you're coming in from Wandega, and you're planning to probably pass via the Ginger Road. To head to Ginger Road, or cross through Ginger Road and head towards Access Road. What is happening there? That is the biggest question at this particular point in time. Well, that brings us to the end of our traffic analysis this morning. And of course, exactly 25 minutes past 7, Smart Means Business takes a short break. And we'll return with Caribou East Africa and the international updates.
Smart 24, driving business.